In 1956, a group of brilliant minds, tired of the rigid boundaries of their respective fields, gathered at Dartmouth College. They weren't there for a summer vacation. They were there for a revolution, a cognitive revolution. This wasn't your typical academic conference. It was the birth of something entirely new, something that would forever change how we understand ourselves and the very nature of thought. They dared to ask a question that, at the time, seemed almost audacious. Can we understand the mind? Any mind, whether human, animal, or even artificial, as a unified system? This is the essence of cognitive science. It's not just one thing. It's a vibrant, ever-evolving tapestry, woven from the threads of multiple disciplines. It is a truly interdisciplinary field. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to understand how a magnificent, complex cathedral was built. You wouldn't just talk to the architect, would you? You'd talk to the stonemasons, the glassmakers, the carpenters, the engineers, everyone who contributed their unique expertise. Cognitive science does the same thing, but instead of a cathedral, it's exploring the most complex structure known to humankind, the mind. So, what are the disciplines? The master craftspeople that contribute to this grand undertaking? First, we have philosophy, the original mind explorer. For centuries, philosophers have pondered the nature of consciousness, knowledge, and reason. They ask the big questions. What does it mean to know something? What is the relationship between mind and body? These are not just abstract musings. They are the foundational questions that cognitive science continues to grapple with. Philosophy provides the conceptual framework, the bedrock upon which we build our scientific understanding. Then comes psychology, the study of behavior and mental processes. Psychologists bring empirical methods to the table. They design experiments, observe behavior, and develop theories about how we learn, remember, perceive, and think. They delve into the intricate workings of our cognitive processes, exploring everything from how we recognize faces to why we make certain decisions. Cognitive psychology, a specific branch, is especially crucial. It focuses directly on the mental processes that underlie behavior. Next, we have neuroscience, the exploration of the brain itself. Neuroscientists use incredibly sophisticated tools, like functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, and electroencephalography, EEG, to peer into the living brain and observe what happens when we think, feel, and act. They map the neural circuits that underlie our cognitive abilities, revealing the biological basis of our mental lives. It's like tracing the wiring diagram of the cathedral to see how the electricity flows. And then there's linguistics, the study of language. Why is language so important to understanding the mind? Because language is not just a tool for communication, it's a window into the structure of our thoughts. Noam Chomsky, one of the pivotal figures in the cognitive revolution, argued that our ability to learn and use language reveals fundamental properties of the human mind. The way we structure sentences, the way we understand meaning, the way we learn new words, all of this provides crucial clues about how our minds work. Now things get even more interesting. We add artificial intelligence, or AI, to the mix. AI researchers aim to create computer systems that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as learning, problem-solving, and decision-making. Why is this relevant to cognitive science? Because by trying to build intelligent machines, we gain insights into the nature of intelligence itself. It's like trying to build a miniature cathedral to understand the principles of architecture. The successes, and perhaps even more importantly, the failures of AI provide valuable information about the challenges and complexities of cognition. Finally, we have anthropology, the study of human cultures and societies. You might be wondering, what does culture have to do with the mind? A lot, actually. Anthropologists show us how cognition is shaped by our social and cultural environment. Our thoughts, beliefs, and even our perceptions are influenced by the culture we live in. Anthropology reminds us that the mind is not a solitary entity. It's embedded in a rich social and cultural context. So, you see, cognitive science isn't just one field. It's a meeting point, a convergence of these incredibly diverse disciplines. It's a collaborative effort to understand the multifaceted nature of the mind. It's about understanding what makes us think, what makes us learn, what makes us conscious. It's about understanding intelligence in its broadest possible sense. Now let's be clear, this is not simply about understanding the brain. The brain is the hardware, the physical organ. Cognitive science is interested in the software, the mind, the programs that run on that hardware. We're interested in the processes, the algorithms, the representations that allow us to make sense of the world. And these processes are incredibly diverse. We're talking about everything from the seemingly simple act of recognizing a friend's face to the complex process of understanding a philosophical argument. We are talking about memory, attention, perception, language, problem-solving, decision-making, learning, and even consciousness itself, the most mysterious of all mental phenomena. How do we even begin to study something so complex? Cognitive scientists use a variety of methods. They conduct carefully controlled experiments, putting people, or sometimes animals, in specific situations and observing their behavior. They build computational models, computer programs that simulate cognitive processes, allowing them to test theories and make predictions. They use neuroimaging techniques like fMRI and EEG to look at brain activity while people are performing cognitive tasks. They study individuals with brain damage to understand how different parts of the brain contribute to different cognitive functions. They even analyze large data sets of human behavior, searching for patterns that might reveal underlying cognitive mechanisms. It is a constant process of investigation and discovery. The ultimate goal, the driving force behind all of this research, is to understand the nature of intelligence. We want to know how the mind works. We want to describe the processes involved in cognition. We want to explain why we think and behave the way we do. And in some cases, we want to replicate these processes in artificial systems. Imagine the implications, understanding not only how our own minds work, but also how to potentially create artificial minds. It's important to remember that cognitive science is a relatively young field. While its roots can be traced back to ancient philosophy, the modern field of cognitive science emerged in the 1950s with what's often called the cognitive revolution. This revolution was, in part, a reaction against behaviorism, a dominant school of thought in psychology that focused solely on observable behavior and dismissed the study of internal mental processes as unscientific. Figures like Noam Chomsky, with his groundbreaking work on linguistics, and computer scientists like Alan Newell and Herbert Simon, who developed early artificial intelligence programs, challenged this view. They argued that we could and should study the mind scientifically. They proposed that the mind could be understood as an information processor, a system that takes in information, processes it, and produces output. This idea that the mind is like a computer was a radical departure from previous ways of thinking, and it laid the foundation for the development of cognitive science. Now, it's important to grasp that the mind isn't being studied at just one single level. We can look at the biological level, focusing on the neurons and synapses and brain structures. We can look at the computational level, focusing on the algorithms and processes that the brain might be using. We can look at the representational level, focusing on how information is encoded and stored in the mind. It's like looking at a cathedral from different perspectives. You can examine the individual bricks, the overall architectural design, or the way the light filters through the stained glass windows. Each perspective provides a different but equally valuable understanding. This concept is known as levels of analysis. Cognitive science is a constantly evolving field. It's not a set of fixed answers, it's a dynamic process of inquiry. There are still many unanswered questions, many mysteries to be solved. We're still at the early stages of understanding the most complex object in the known universe, the human mind. But the progress that has been made is astonishing, and the implications of this research are far-reaching. Think about education. By understanding how we learn, we can develop more effective teaching methods. Think about mental health. By understanding the cognitive processes that underlie mental disorders, we can develop better treatments. Think about technology. By understanding how the mind works, we can design more intuitive and user-friendly interfaces and even create more advanced artificial intelligence. Think about design, think about marketing, think about almost any field of human endeavor, and you'll find that cognitive science has something to offer. It even extends to fields like law and economics, influencing our understanding of how people make decisions and judgments. This field invites you to question your own thoughts, your own perceptions, your own beliefs. Have you ever wondered why you remember certain things and forget others? Or why you're easily distracted? Or how you're able to understand language? Or what it even means to be conscious? These are the kinds of questions that cognitive scientists grapple with every day. So as we've explored this multifaceted field, hopefully, it's become clear that cognitive science is not just an academic pursuit. It's a journey of self-discovery. It is a continuous loop. It's a quest to understand what it means to be human, to be a thinking, feeling, conscious being. It's about understanding the very essence of what makes us, us. It's a field that challenges us to think deeply about the nature of thought itself, and it offers the potential to transform not only our understanding of the mind, but also our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. This exploration offers us the keys, potentially, to unlocking some of the deepest mysteries of existence, and that in itself is a truly exciting prospect.